All right, so Tampa Bay Buccaneers win their season opener. I wanted to make a video kind of talking about the exciting things that happened on offense in this game, and kind of less about this game in particular, but kind of what gets me excited about future games with this offense and how many different pieces they have and how it could all come together. Even though I didn't think they really hit their stride necessarily in this game, we saw the flashes, and I think they will hit their stride, at some point this season. So I'm just going to kind of go over, all the different nuts and bolts of what I liked about this offense, and maybe some criticisms as well. So let's just get into it. Let's start off with this play. One of the things that Tampa Bay does is they don't just use their talented receivers to go down the field and make catches, but they use them in other ways, like a wide receiver screen. It's just a great way to get the ball in a talented player's hand like Chris Godwin. Watch how when this play begins, you see that, it helps that you have great blocking receivers as well. Now Mike Evans is going out to block, so that makes it effective, and Donovan Smith is going to go out to block as well. He's going to be blocking Diggs. So then Godwin kind of just take off, and he's able to pick up a ton of yards on this play. So that's kind of one of the ways that Tampa Bay likes to use all of these great receivers, which I think is smart. Like, listen, if you have great players, you don't just have to use them in the traditional way. You can use them in still relatively traditional ways, but maybe slightly less traditional ways. Like something like this we saw a number of times, which is just going to be a jet sweep motion with Julio Jones. We saw this a few times, which, it's a good play. I like this type of play. A lot of times what you do is it's actually, you have sort of two options on this play. You'll have either a run up the middle, or if up the middle is being well defended, like you see right now, trying to run it up the middle seems pretty tough, then you can just give it to Julio Jones, who's going to go to the outside. So when Brady gives Jones the ball, again, it's Julio Jones with the ball in his hands. That's a great situation. He's able to pick up a first down right there. It was also well blocked. So that kind of stuff is, exactly one of the things that Tampa Bay does, and one of the ways that Tampa Bay has, it's part of how they won a Super Bowl. Just put the ball in your talented players' hands. Seems simple enough. But another way Tampa Bay was definitely able to get their wins was on stuff like this. They attacked Diggs. They were not afraid of Diggs, the All-Pro from last year, because what we all noticed about Diggs, it doesn't have to be said, but I'll say it anyway. He's the guy who gets a lot of interceptions, also gives up a lot of yards. I think Brady trusts that he can put the ball where Diggs won't, intercept it, and will instead, give up yards. Even though I believe Diggs did get an interception off of Brady last year, but that's besides the point. What we see here is it's going to essentially be a one-on-one matchup with Mike Evans right here. He's going to be running a route where, again, what's great about these types of routes is Diggs doesn't want to get beat deep, and because of that, when you can cut, you can potentially get open. Look at how when this play develops, Brady's going to make the throw towards Mike Evans, and you see how well he is able to get open right here. Again, this is just the value of having so many talented receivers, is that you can kind of look at a matchup and say, yeah, that's going to be a one-on-one matchup. I pretty much like any of my one-on-one matchups that we're going to get, and Mike Evans is able to get, I know it's blurry, but he is significantly open right here. It doesn't get much more open in the NFL than this. Of course, I have to talk about the Julio Jones deep shot at the end of the second quarter right here. So it's again going to be a one-on-one matchup. This time there's just a single safety deep, so having a one-on-one matchup, you like that, and it's a one-on-one matchup against Trayvon Diggs. So again, Tom Brady is attacking Trayvon Diggs here. That's what he's doing. And listen, it might not necessarily be a he's attacking Diggs thing. It might be more of a he sees that Julio Jones has a one-on-one matchup and likes that. That also could be the case. Watch how Brady takes the snap. He is going to look over in Julio Jones' way. He also, one subtle thing that Brady did was he kind of didn't look right away towards Jones. He looked over the middle and then looks towards Jones just to freeze the safety, make sure the safety doesn't come over. So this is a true one-on-one matchup. The safety help is just not there. So Diggs is definitely in a tough spot. Tall task for him to try and cover Julio Jones, but he's doing an okay job. There's definitely a window where Brady can make this throw. But look, this is just a beautiful throw and a great catch from Julio Jones. Both things were true. So being able to, have that kind of combination is fantastic. On Brady's end, we're talking over 50 yards down the field with pinpoint accuracy, as in from where he threw it to where the ball ended up. And from Julio Jones's perspective, it's just an incredible catch, but he makes those look routine. This play was just incredible where, again, I know there's going to be a lot of haha, Trayvon Diggs sucks kind of stuff. I mean, that's just the life of a corner to some degree. You're going to have bad days. Listen, I'm not the world's biggest Trayvon Diggs fan in terms of his game either, but a play like this, you know, if you want to get on him for this, I don't really know what you do about this situation. It's a one-on-one matchup against Mike Evans. And I mean, look at this, just, you know, great release off the side and just be able to, you know, Brady throws it over. He's able to make an unbelievable catch. Like, I don't know what you do if you're a corner there other than maybe, you know, I don't know, be taller. Maybe that's what he has to do because I don't know how else you defend something like that. I don't think you can. Just an incredible play by Mike Evans. This is just one of those things that Tampa Bay has. You know, guys who were just capable of doing these types of plays where, you know, as the old expression goes, you know, a perfect pass and a great catch can always beat great defense. And the reality is they have Brady who makes a lot of perfect passes and a lot of guys who can make a lot of great catches. And of course, I mean, I have to talk about the running game if I'm talking about the offense. And again, the defense maybe deserves a video of its own, how well that played. I decided to do the offense at first, but the, you know, defense kind of, you know, was the story for through a large part of it at the very least. But this is kind of very fascinating where, you know, Fournette's going to get all the credit. He was the 100-yard rusher and he deserves credit. He was very good, but so was the interior offensive line, which we kept hearing, you know, people talk about, oh, the injuries to this interior offensive line, which I always kind of felt was a little overblown. Listen, losing Ryan Jensen hurts. There's no denying that. But, you know, their backup center's a third-round pick. He's not some undrafted guy. Losing Aaron Stinney, I'm not even sure if that's a drop-off from their second-round pick they just drafted, who's being a guard there in Luke Goedeke. So, you know, they're okay, and I thought the interior blocked very well in this game. I mean, watch how when this play begins, you just see how that hole just immediately develops, and this is really what, you know, again, everyone gives credit to the running backs, but this is really what makes these plays work. Again, Fournette also played well. Both can be true. But, I mean, look at that hole. Fournette easily is able to get up, and he gets all the way to the second level and, you know, even falls forward a little bit, picks up more yards than an average running back would have on top of it. So, you know, it all works together, right? The offensive line puts the halfback in position to succeed, and then hopefully the halfback takes advantage of that, and that's what happened in the running game, certainly. The interception that happened with about 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter was honestly kind of funny. I thought, you know, it looked very silly, but actually there is kind of a reason for it. Not to excuse it, but there is kind of an explanation for it, I guess is probably the way to phrase it. So look, Brady takes a snap. He wants to hit Mike Evans, who has a one-on-one matchup towards the inside. It's a 3rd down and 2, so that part makes sense. But, you know, there's going to be a player who I've circled over the middle of the field. That is Wilson right there. He is going to eventually intercept this pass. You might be wondering, why doesn't Brady see him? Isn't this super obvious? Well, actually, not really, because again, keep in mind, he has a very different angle of the field than we have. You see the left guard and center double teaming a defensive tackle. Those are 3 really large men who are directly in between the guy that Brady's going to eventually throw the ball to and Brady. Look at this angle. This is the better angle. So we're going to see him drop back. So Brady, from his perspective, does not think that Wilson is going to be dropping back in the coverage. He thinks he's going to be blitzing, which that was Brady's mistake. That's where he screwed up. That he should have done a better job at not doing that. Watch Brady's eyes here and watch how he looks directly towards Mike Evans. And again, it makes sense. Get to your first read, make the throw quickly, but you have to just make sure that no one drops back over the middle of the field. You just do, and Brady knows he has to do that. He knows he screwed up. But given this angle, you can kind of see how this mistake can get made, right? Brady isn't directly looking over the middle of the field, so because of that, with 3 large men directly in between Brady's view of Wilson, he just never sees him at all. This is something that can actually happen sometimes, and it's just funny because, you know, when we watched it on TV, this never happens to us because we get a better angle. So Brady throws the interception, you know, okay, not the end of the world by any means, but it was kind of funny, so I figured I would break it down and kind of explain why it happened. So yeah, as a whole, that's kind of what I thought about this game and this, you know, situation. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of exciting stuff here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do the rest of their way. Again, their defense was probably the real star of this game. I could have made a whole video about them, but, you know, I want to make a video about the offense, just sort of, because that's, I think, maybe the bigger story for the future, even though the defense was the bigger story for tonight, if that makes sense. So, anyways, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.